This is what we recorded, this is how we modified it, and here is the final touch. Lately, I've been shooting an indie feature film called Ikuisesti. In English it means forever, and in upcoming videos I'm going to share bits of the filmmaking process and its various stages, as well as talk about the different challenges we face in our day-to-day shooting. The idea is to share tips and encourage people to create even if they don't have all the money and resources in the world. One big challenge has always been a budget. An indie film is self-initiated work without funding from the National Film Foundation. So everything has to be carefully planned so that every penny is used wisely. In the big leagues, money often buys a shortcut to success, like expensive gear, a huge crew, or a massive studio. But if you can't afford traditional methods, you have to be creative and come up with solutions using the resources you have. For example, we've been shooting the film with the director's own red camera and using my personal lenses. So the equipment has been stuff an ordinary consumer could access. Buy what you must, borrow the rest, or build it yourself. In the big leagues they would use dollies, cranes and steadicams for camera moves. We've been using DJI RS3 and rollerblades as our foundation. During the summer I spend a lot of time doing camera tests and planning the visual style, meaning how I will light and what lenses I will use to shoot the film. Through the tests we decided on the lighting contrast ratio and the color palette of the film's world. The camera has been the red Komodo and I've been shooting with blazar Remus anamorphic lenses. More about this in upcoming videos. Our romantic fantasy drama Ikuisesti deals with themes of nostalgia, longing for the past. So we wanted an analog look for the film. Shooting on film wasn't an option due to budget, so we needed another solution. I tested different options in Resolve, but since I am not a professional colorist, I wanted a simple solution to help me communicate with the director and the colorist with whom I'd be working with in the future. I wanted quick tests that I wouldn't waste any time in the proper color grade. That's where I'll spend the budgeted time and money to make everything consistent. What will our film ultimately look like when we finally get to color grading with a professional? What options do we have to find the exact mood our movie needs? I found a convenient solution, so this episode is made in collaboration with Dehancer. This isn't a Dehancer review or tutorial, but more like a wipe check on what this tool can do. YouTube is full of great Dehancer tutorials. That's how I got started too. So instead of a tutorial, I want to demo Dehancer for you with my own feature films material. My own approach is mostly to play around with the material and find inspiration for the final grade once we get there. So today's goal is not to finalize anything, it's more about playing with the material. Briefly about the film. The story takes place on two timelines, in 1939 and in the present day 2025. Two young people from different eras find each other and discover a way to communicate in real time, even though 86 years separate them. So it's a love story with a fantasy hook. First I did a basic color grade on the shots and matched them, plus did some clip level corrections. I also tried local tone mapping method familiar from Joonas Tähtinen's channel. I also used his look library power grades, which I purchased. So in my setup I'm already applying a film stock before Dehancer, but without any heavy grain or other specialties. At this point I'm interested in the tone of the image. My project color space is in ACES CCT, and at the end of the node tree there's color space transformed to Rec 709. Here is the red raw material, followed by the version with the basic color space transform, balance, toning, and some local tone mapping. Once the selected shots are unified, I switch to the timeline level in Resolve's color page and add a single node containing Dehancer. I set Dehancer's input to Rec 709 and now everything's ready for me to apply any film look I want across all the clips. This way I can browse the selected clips and see Dehancer's effects by toggling it off and on by hitting Command D. And if any clip looks off compared to the others, I can always return to the clip level and make corrections. As you can see, I'm getting that soft, warm look, more pleasing tones, with the texture bringing everything together. Just as a test, this is what the material looks like when I grade the shot using only Dehancer. I create only one node, apply Dehancer, select Choose Camera option for the source, and browse other preferred settings. So it's actually a pretty good starting point, even without those custom clip level nodes. Dehancer's customizability is its best feature. There are ready-made presets, and the user can always tweak them to taste. And the looks are stunning. The best part is also its weakness. Dehancer has too much of everything. It would be great if presets could be filtered by favorites, and a faster preview for comparing film stocks is needed. Right now browsing them is slow with lots of clicking. I wish I could just click once to open the list and then browse the film stocks with arrow keys. The whole vibe comes together through the texture created by film grain and bloom. Halation is also welcome in small amounts. Subtlety is the key to everything. I have heard the rule of thumb, split the difference, which VFX artists use. When you add an effect like bloom and think it looks right, cut it in half immediately. That is probably enough. This avoids overdoing effects so they don't look artificial or paste on. Tervonen from the past here. Tervonen from the future sent me a discount code, so now I can grade all my old short films with Dehancer.
Oi, miten näin kauhea tyyppi voi asua noin kivassa paikassa?
Ei, mä sanoin sulle, että katsot sieltä vaan sen osoitteen.
Hi, Tervonen from the future here. Forget PC workstations because we are grading with our mobile devices now. Dehancer has its own mobile app. The photo and video subscription gives you access to both the mobile and desktop versions. The app is handy if you want to test familiar film stocks on the go. You can edit both video and stills. I wouldn't tackle any big projects on a phone, but for quick content like Instagram or testing ideas, it's good for that. The UI is easy to use and the looks are customizable just like in the desktop version. A batch export feature would definitely be welcome, especially when handling multiple images at once. Dehancer entered my toolkit because I wanted texture in my material. Texture is essential when you want images to feel authentic instead of clinically digital. It makes the image look more pleasant by removing excessive sharpness. At least that's my opinion, and it's the look we're aiming for in our film. In these AI-heavy times, anything authentic warms the heart. Filmmaking is craftsmanship, made by people. This plugin is not a magic shortcut, but it's a very capable tool to help the cinematographer, director and colorist compare options and find a common look, the one that serves the story best. Go try it out, the link's in the description. Also feel free to check out our film's website. Thanks for watching.